Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so I have Lisa here, my first grade student, and we're going to be doing a lesson on fluency. All right, so Lisa, do you remember the Commotion of the Ocean story we were just reading?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to be looking at a page in that story, and we're going to practice reading it aloud with fluency. Do you remember what it means to read fluently?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Let's do a quick review before we get started, just to make sure, okay? Can you see this screen?
Yes.
Okay. So these are our 4 points that I really want you to remember while we are reading fluently. So our first point is that we are reading with expression. So that means that we're not reading and sounding like a robot, that we're reading expressively and we are trying to engage the reader. So like with this story, it's a storybook. So we want to make sure that we are reading it nicely aloud because we would most likely be reading this to a class, right? Our next one is looking at rate. So this means not reading it too fast and not reading it too slow, but trying to read it just right so that whoever we're reading to can understand what we're reading. Our third one is accuracy. So this means that we're trying our best to read all the words right. And in this passage, you're going to see a lot of sight words. So those words you should be able to read really quickly. And if there's a few other words that you have trouble with, that's okay. But we want to try and generally read all of the words right if we can. And our last one is looking at punctuation. So remembering to always look for periods and commas and exclamation marks, and remembering as we read to do as those are telling us. So if we have a comma, what are we going to be doing?
Stopping.
Yeah, or pausing, right? And yeah, and then we have a period, then we would,
Stop.
right, good job. All right, so can you see the other page now or no?
No.
Okay, let me redo the share. Okay, so now can you see the page with the swordfish
Yes.
octopus? Okay, great. All right, so first I'm gonna read this sword fish page, and I just want you to listen and be listening about my expression that I'm reading with and the rate I'm reading at, okay? And then I'm gonna have you try and read it, all right? Okay, so it says swordfish. I love to chase after small fishes. It stops me from getting too bored. And then when I start feeling hungry, I skewer a few on my sword. Do you want to try?
I love to chase after small fishes. It stops me from getting too bored. And then when I start feeling hungry, I skewer a few on my sword.
Good. All right. So I want you to really pay attention. In this page, there are a couple different punctuations. So here, like there's a comma after board. So I'm going to put this red line slash there so that you can easily see it. So one red slash means there is one comma. And down here, I'm going to put two red slashes, and that means there is a period, okay? So let's come over to the other page. Do you see a comma in the first line?
Yes.
Okay, so how many slashes should I put?
One.
Okay, right. So I'm going to put one slash here so that we know that there was a comma, so that means we're going to pause. What about the next line? Do you see any more?
Yes. One.
So I'll put one. Is there any in the next line?
No.
Okay, and then what about the last line?
A period.
Okay, so how many slashes should I put?
Two.
Two. Okay, great. All right. Okay, so now let's try and read the swordfish side again together, and making sure when we get to the one slash, we pause, and when we get to the two slashes that we stop for the period, okay? So let's try and read it together the best that we can, okay? Ready? And I love to chase after small fishes.
After small
It
fishes,
stops
it
me from
stops
getting too
me to
bored.
board.
Pause. And then when I
And
start
when I
feeling
start
hungry,
feeling hungry,
I
I
skewer a few
skewer
on
a
my
few on
sword.
my sword.
Good job. All right. Do you want to read the octopus side on your own now? Looking for those pauses with the dashes and the periods with the two dashes.
Having 8 arrows can be useful.
Oh, let's look back at that line. Does arrows make sense there?
Oh, arms.
Okay, right. Good catch. So be thinking while you're reading about if something doesn't make sense, and then look back and see how you can fix it. So let's try again from the beginning.
Having 8 arms can be useful. You may think it looks a bit funny, but it helps me to hold all my children and tickle each one in the tummy.
Awesome. Great job. I liked how you really paused at the dashes and then you make sure you stopped at the two dashes. Really great. All right. Well, that is the end of our fluency lesson. So we would keep practicing with this same page like tomorrow, so that after reading it a couple times through, you get more comfortable with all of the words and it is easier to practice reading it fluently and with proper expression and all that. So, yeah, great job. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, let me.
It was a little